It's day 3 of our advent calendar. Let's see what is behind door 3. My husband told me he wants a poly relationship after already having a girlfriend. So your husband's already in a poly relationship then. Lucky him. This story came March 10th, 2025. I'm new to Reddit and I just created this to get some advice. Okay. So my husband, 43 male, and I, 43 female, have been married for 23 years. We have never dated or even kissed anyone else. Our story is long with ups and downs. I will try and make this short, but feel free to ask any questions as there is a lot of backstory. So as we've gotten older, we've become more open-minded. For me in particular, just learning and breaking free of what society and religion have boxed as acceptable relationships. My husband has always felt like something was missing in his heart and mind our whole marriage. There have been about 5 times in our relationship where he has met someone that helps a little bit of this hole. But as we were both clearly monogamous, I was very upset to the point of not being able to function and we would take a break. Does that mean he cheated on you? Like, what do you mean by that? 5 times in our relationship, he met someone that helps fill this hole. What is that literally filling hole? Oh my God, that's insane to say, Joss. Well, this is me. What are you gonna do? And in the end, we would always come back to each other. Nothing physical was ever done, but the emotional cheating was heartbreaking for me. I wish I read a few more sentences before saying that comment. I now have much more of an open mind, however. He said after doing some research and soul searching that he feels like he needs more than one woman to be in a relationship with, but not in general, specifically a woman from 5 years ago who he had one of the connections with. She had cut it off because she wanted a physical relationship with him, but he couldn't cross that line, and because she was so upset her husband would find out, they cut ties. But now he wants to date her and stay married to me. He said eventually he wants us both to be in equal types of relationship with him. And okay, I can think about this and see if that's something that I would be comfortable with. The problem is, things started back up with them seriously about 4 months ago. About a month ago, they started making out and kissing, and he just told me this today. He wasn't even going to mention the kissing. I had to ask him specifically. He said that he plans on having a full relationship with her, sex and all. His want is to be with me like we have been and have her as a girlfriend too. I am not sure how I feel about that. Poly is already something I had been pondering for myself, so I am wondering if maybe I had someone else, we could keep what we have and both be happier for it. So I am thinking about it, but it's really hard for me to not feel hurt over him already having someone, dating someone, and then making out, cuddling, and kissing. All doing that without talking to me first. I am so furious and also sad. To make matters worse, a year ago, I fell really ill and I have been on disability ever since. So I'm having a really hard time trying to figure out what I want while trying to disregard if we aren't together anymore, how would I live and survive? He told me that he 100% will not stop seeing her and moving forward, but that he does want things to stay the same with us, and I can decide if that is what I want and to let him know. So he's already decided. He's already like, okay, I'm gonna have this girlfriend, but you just let me know if you want to stay with me then, while I have my girlfriend too. I also asked him, would this be where we are all together, like knowing each other and around each other? But he said he doesn't see that working, that he wants his relationship with her to be totally separate and us not having anything to do with each other. Knowing each of us, he didn't think it would work well. I need advice, please. I don't really have anyone to talk to. And I know Polly needs a lot of honesty and openness, but I can't help but feel like he's already broken that. Any advice or thoughts are greatly appreciated. And you know the people of Reddit are going to give them, and we're going to check them out. I'm not the person to ask for this personally. By all means, in this lifetime, you do whatever you want when it comes to that. If you're happy in a poly relationship, by all means. But personally, it couldn't be me. I just couldn't do it. I'm not the type of person who could. All right? So I don't know what type of advice to give here. I think really you just gotta take some time to think about this. It's a big decision. I do not envy your position. by any means. But let's see what the people of Reddit are saying. Someone wrote, I'm so sorry. This is heartbreaking. And as others have mentioned, it is cheating. It is painful. It's scary. It's infuriating. All your feelings, they are completely valid. It might be additionally disorienting because you haven't been with anyone else, I imagine, plus the disability. What does this whole thing also say about the woman who is with him? She either doesn't know the full context of your story with your husband, or she does not care. Well, either way, she doesn't care. She has a husband and she's sleeping with somebody else and she didn't want her husband to find out. So they're clearly not in a poly relationship over there. Either way, staying with him would keep you in a vulnerable and unfair position, and the lying will not stop there. You don't need to face this alone. Please reach for additional support and do not, for a moment, feel that you are the bad guy here. Your husband messed up big time. I wonder if girlfriend is going to leave her husband then, or if she's just gonna do all of this in secret, because you can't really be a full-on boyfriend and girlfriend out in public if she's married. OOP responded to this and said, yeah, I've never been with another person, haven't even kissed or held hands with anybody else. I do feel alone. This last year with my health and losing all the plans that I've had for my life, I've been dealing with depression on and off. And when I'm depressed, I curl up inside myself and draw away from my loved ones. So I'm feeling like I have no one to turn to for support, hence coming to the internet. I'm hopeful I can be brave enough to reach out to a loved one soon. Oh, I hope you are too. No one should go through anything alone, you know? Next comment. Unfortunately, poly is based on communication and being on the same page, etc. And him doing all of that behind your back and only telling you because you said something first shows he would have went further and not told you. He cheated on you, honey. I'm sorry, but it's only poly if you know about it. Yeah. OOP wrote back and said, I told him this, that it's based on trust and communication. And he broke my trust and I don't know if I can get over it or not. Because I am curious if poly is something that I would ever like or not. I'm trying to be understanding of his needs and what would make him happy. He said he was for sure going to tell me within a few months, waiting for the right time. But he came home wearing a bracelet that our son saw and asked him where it was from, and my spouse wouldn't answer, so I got suspicious. How convenient for someone to be like, I was going to tell you. Oh, were you going to? I hate when someone says that. It is such BS. Going to? You had months. We're married. We lived. What do you mean? If he wanted to tell you, he would have, you know? And the fact that he has still been with me in every way and was going to not say anything to me for so long, it was very hurtful. He was going to keep seeing her and making out with her without telling me. He only told me now because of the bracelet thing. I'm not trying to add fuel to the fire, but part of me doesn't even believe they just kissed. Like, he could have totally been physical with her in every way and would just tell you like, oh, we've just made out. We have an update and it came March 29th. So I have learned a lot about how he feels about and with this other woman. And I have done some soul searching. This is what I ended up doing. He claimed he wanted us both separate but equal partners. And I sat with that for a bit. Then after some talks, I realized I only had one very important question. If he had to choose right now, who would it be? I gave him an example. If she came to him and said it was too hard on her to continue the open relationship and that she couldn't do it anymore, what would you do? Who would you stay with? And he wouldn't say the words, but he had the look on his face that said he would pick her. I told him that isn't a balanced relationship, that it isn't poly, that she holds all the power, that he will do whatever it is she wants because he has to be with her, so he will do whatever she wants, including leaving me. So then I told him it wasn't fair to me, that his proposal would put me at the very bottom of importance below both of them. I told him it's not fair to me and that I don't deserve to be someone's second, someone's back burner. And so I told him I couldn't stay with him. I packed a suitcase and stayed the night with my sister down the road. We met a couple times after that to go over logistics. I set a reasonable timeline for him to get his stuff out of the house. I set the boundaries that I didn't want to see him and I didn't want any communication unless it was logistics like bills, meals or rides for the kids. I haven't seen him since. It's been a very roller coaster time for me. We were together for 25 years. I found one person that he actually told the woman's name to. My ex never told me or anyone he thought might tell me. So his brother told me. I found her on Instagram and Facebook 2 days ago. Man, it was really hard to see who my spouse was dating. And you're just seeing her on social media. Imagine staying and being poly and just knowing that he's dating her all the time while still with you. I think you made the right decision for yourself. Seeing her adult daughter do a post that talks about how good of a person she is. And I wanted so bad to say that her mom is the type of person who dates married men. I'm not going to, but I really want to message the girlfriend, thinking I might spend some time crafting it over the next week and sending it. I have quite the journey ahead of me. To all those who saw through this BS and called it what it was, cheating, and who encouraged me to leave him and who were upset on my behalf, thank you. It was really eye-opening to have such a unanimous response to my post, and it helps me give the courage I needed. If anyone has questions, feel free to ask. I just hope someday I can find someone who treats me as an equal, a partner who would choose me over others. I have no doubt that you will. Well, let's check out the top comments. Now, I am personally very proud that she did the best thing that she felt was for herself. Someone commented saying, that is such a heartbreak. He sounds selfish and immature. I am sorry. He gave no thought to you at all. Should be a huge red flag for her, but Godspeed, lady. You take care of you now, and when he comes crawling back to you in 6 months to a year, remember, he showed you who he is. Do we think he's gonna come crawling back? Do we? Because we do have another update after this. Part of me is like, it's either A, she moved on and is happy in life without him, or B, yeah, he regretted his decision and he's like, come back to me, please. OP wrote back and said, okay, I'll remember. His brother actually told me if I ever consider getting back with his own brother, he will kidnap me and lock me up until I remember all the stuff my ex put me through, and I told him I won't do it. Also, you mentioned he gave me no thought at all. The heartbreaking thing is my ex has been very clear he did think about me. He said he felt like he was between a rock and a hard place, that his girlfriend kept wanting more and more, and that if he didn't give it to her, she would leave. So he weighed what it would do to me. He weighed that he would be breaking his strict moral code, and he weighed how he would feel if she left. Like, why is he acting like you guys weren't in a committed, monogamous relationship? He's so casual, like, oh, hey, I've had a girlfriend for 4 months and like she wants to be public and like more of a couple. So is that cool with you? Thank God that's not me, because I would have very unpleasant things to say to him. Next comment. This is how a monkey branching from one relationship to another looks like in real life. I'm sorry you have to divorce, but I love the tone of this post. Very mature and confident. There are teachings after all of this pain. OOP wrote back saying, thanks, that means a lot. I've been really trying to handle this in the best way I can. And yes, I am definitely putting in the time to learn from this whole thing. Next comment. So he treated, then tried to have his cake and eat it too, is what I'm understanding. OOP wrote back and said, yep, he wanted to keep us both. He said he wanted everything to stay literally the same with him and I, and then bring her to be the equal with me. But he is so desperate to keep her that he will do anything she wants. And I told him, since that's the case, then there is no equally. She holds all the power, and it's not fair to me. Now, the last comment is someone kind of mentioned on when OOP will be ready to go back out there and date again. And OOP wrote, it's going to be really weird doing anything with anyone new. I've never done anything romantic with anyone but my husband. Not even hand-holding, cuddling, or a kiss with anyone else. I'll be honest, it makes me nervous to get out there again. How can I get over feeling like a kiss with someone else is a bad thing? Oh, it's just gonna be new, of course. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna feel strange. You've had the one person your entire life. You know nothing else. Of course, you have every right to be like, it's scary, it's weird, it feels wrong. It could also be very exciting though. Maybe they're even a better kisser. Not me being so optimistic here. Before we get to the final update here, I really want to know if she messages the girlfriend. Let's take a quick sip of water. It's hydration station. I need it, you need it. Cheers. just a little sneak peek because I don't want to give too much away, but I filmed and vlogged the entire process of making a 90s Christmas in my home. So if you guys want to see that, you're gonna have to follow my shorts channel because I'm gonna do long form content on there that is non-reaction. So make sure you follow. It's at Life with Joss. Subscribe, do all the things. It's linked in every video description on my channel. And how fun that I'm not purposely trying to focus on this, but my mom got me this when I hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube in 2023. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? I will get a 2 pretty soon. Fingers crossed. Oh, the final update came in more recent times, October 29th, 2025, 7 months later. All right. We're gonna find out what happened. Reading back on my first post from the day after he told me he wanted to keep both his girlfriend and myself, I am both embarrassed and glad I can see how far I have truly come. As I said in my first update, I ended things in mid-March. I have been doing a lot of learning and growing since then. I have learned a lot about covert narcissistic behaviors. I have learned about the communication in relationships, about setting healthy boundaries. I can see so clearly what was unhealthy and honestly toxic about our relationship and the cycle that I was stuck in. I learned that how I thought and felt about these things in our relationship were valid, and I don't have to accept his verbiage and his gaslighting as a fact. In the original post, I never called it cheating, and that was because he never considered it was cheating since he supposedly didn't actually sleep with all of them. And in the past, if I called it cheating, he would get upset, explain why it wasn't cheating, and I would just believe that he was right. I read a book about covert narcissists, and there was a lot in there that was exactly my experiences. Sometimes it was an exact quote of things I have thought before. I have stopped allowing his thoughts and feelings to override my own, and it feels so good. After the affair 3 years ago with a different lady, we were far apart for long enough that I started to see what was wrong with how he treated me. I learned who I was without him, and even though I believed his words and promises when he persuaded me to give him another chance, I never lost all of that progress I made. So, because of that and the amazing support that I ended up having, I was able to finally break the cycle and be free. That's not to say it has been easy, but we officially filed for divorce almost 2 weeks ago as co-petitioners. My state is a no-fault divorce state, and he did not object to anything I presented. So the paperwork aspect was relatively easy. The emotions were kind of all over the place. Sometimes I get angry thinking about his cheating partner girlfriend being welcomed by family and friends. While the majority of the fault is his, it's not like she had zero to do with it. I know I can't control how anyone decides to treat her. If they are immediately welcoming and bringing her into the fold, it makes me feel like I didn't matter to them. Didn't matter enough to be upset on my behalf. Like her actions and what hurt me greatly don't matter. The anger and betrayal hits hard sometimes. About 2 months after telling me that I deserve better and to get out, we had a couple long conversations. I could tell he was miserable. He did say it was the worst thing he has ever experienced in his life. He feels ashamed of himself and his actions and said he will never forgive himself. He apologized many times for different things he realized he was doing wrong when we were together. Having fully and forever lost me, he sees clearly just how much of his foundation I was. Isn't that hindsight always 20/20? I say all of this not fully trusting it since his actions never matched his words, and I wish I could have seen the manipulation years ago. I'm really proud of myself for how I dealt with this whole thing and for how far I have come. This time was so different from the others. I didn't have the phase of who I am without him or the mourning of 25 years. I did lose those things with the affair 3 years ago. Breaking free of the love bombing, devolving, and discarding the narcissistic cycle is very, very difficult. I wish I was strong enough to do it any of the other 6 times before, but at least it wasn't another 6 times down the road. But now I am free, strong, and I know my I value. While I do not want to settle down with someone new for the rest of my life right now, I have been thinking about starting to date again. I think it would be fun and honestly help me in my healing journey. Wish me luck, and don't worry, no red flags will be ignored. So does that mean you didn't message a girlfriend? Because I was kind of hoping for the unhealthy drama, selfishly. Let's see what people are saying and what more she has told us. Let's check out the last few top comments from Redditors. Someone wrote, don't forget the part where the partner gets their own side relationship going and then they have a jealous freak out. Yeah. Next comment. The only shocking part is that this pretty common story of how it blows up the relationship somehow has not become recognized enough by these idiots who try it thinking that this time, for them, it'll work. I've also seen in other Reddit stories, someone in the marriage wants a poly relationship, but when their partner goes out and starts dating someone, they're like, actually, I don't want it anymore. Turns out I just wanted myself to be able to date someone new. Next comment. OOP initially said she doesn't know how she'll manage financially without him given her disability. Also, she's forgiven him 6 times before. He just thought he had trapped her emotionally dependent enough to finally allow him to do whatever he wants. He was wrong, and we are all so relieved about that. That's true. He probably thought he had more power there given her disability and financial situation. I called your bluff. Anyways, let me know your thoughts and feelings. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.